rolling tin fist. Hello, men. It is 3 a.m. local time, and I am in Mexico. The video doesn't do it justice because it's really a beautiful morning and there's no traffic, there's no people, and typically a busy intersection. So I had a couple of drinks that were quite tasty, a mixture of coffee, rum, and marzipan. Don't remember what it's called, but it was so awesome I had two. And so the good side is it's very natural versus if I had the same thing in the United States. The downside is that I ignored the part that said coffee in the ingredients, and so after only about 4 hours sleep, I'm up, semi-wide awake. But it's all good. And what do you do when you can't sleep at 3 in the morning in a foreign country? You make a YouTube video if you're Red Pill Dude. So far it's been pretty cool. Met some pretty cool people. And the takeaway, well, one of the takeaways of my trip so far is the importance of, this goes for a lot of things in life. Get information, get data, listen to what people have to say. But at the end of the day, you have to go out there and get the information or the experience for yourself. You know, the difference between taking a class in Spanish, watching Spanish-speaking programming, even maybe eating food from Spanish-speaking countries, and then actually going to these places and experiencing it for yourself. So this is my second time in Mexico. First time was last year, where I visited one of the border states, and it's just a very different experience than where I'm now, which is more central to the country. But that makes sense. It's quite logical. It's very different, for example, being in New York City versus North Platte, Nebraska versus, somewhere in Louisiana. It's a very different experience. But sometimes we forget that. We forget to keep that in mind in other places we may hear about that. Mexico is a pretty large country. There are only a few places that we hear about or even go to, but it's a huge country. Very different. Very different. So I encourage you not only to learn things, read about things, but go out into the world. Similar to what I mentioned in one of my previous videos. Again, content is great out here. It's great to see what other people are doing. But, move from the computer, move from social media, and get out there. So I removed the original audio because I didn't want to get any copyright strikes. But this is the ride I'm taking to meet a buddy of mine for a very late breakfast. After walking a good 20 minutes from my hotel down to one of the major squares and then catching an Uber to where he's at. Now, it's the rainy season where I was rather, and so it's much cooler and much more comfortable. Really great for walking around and seeing the sights and just really enjoying it. So I got rid of the audio here as well because the traffic sound was so overwhelming. I decided to just delete the original audio and re-record. So this is my last day on my getaway, and I just had the most delicious breakfast at the Mexican equivalent of IHOP, which actually tasted much better. And again, I took a very long walk to walk off the calories through a couple of parks, and finally ended up in this plaza, which is a paseo, like a walkway, a thoroughway through one of the major routes in the city. And it's really beautiful. It's just, as you can see, really beautiful. Sunnier day than the previous days, and really just great to walk around. It was a really excellent trip. Everybody was really nice. A little Spanish goes a long way. Uber, I was impressed how well connected and easy it was to get from anywhere from 2 minutes somewhere to an hour just using Uber. I was really blown away. And a block from here is where I actually took an Uber to the airport. And again, just really lots of great hospitality. And I'm hoping to come back sometime in the future. And I encourage you all, you know, get that opportunity when you get that opportunity, or heck, take that opportunity and use that passport. If you don't have one, get one and see the world. It's really easy to get trapped in social media, but get out there, have fun.